I got overwhelmed and I quit about a quarter way through the show. So this is going to be a very bad video for animals, but we're going to do something a little different and show you how we set up for selling coffee at a show. So all the setup, the Chemexes and the kettles and everything. So hopefully it'll be worth it, but trying to video and go through the show was a bit of an experience. It was the busiest March Tinley that I've ever seen. So I've got a couple of different videos, but I did not make it very far before I had to come back to the booth and do some more work. So apologies for that, but let's kick it over to the video about how to make coffee at a reptile show. So we are here at March Tinley 2024, NARBC Tinley Park, and there's a lot that goes into bringing a coffee display and a coffee setup to a show. And so I thought it would be interesting to take you guys along, show you a little bit about how we make coffee at a big trade show like this, and show you step-by-step process from order taking all the way until the customer gets a cup of coffee. So let's go. Let's get started. So the first friendliest face that you'll see when you come up to the Cold Blooded Caffeine booth is yours truly, behind the register here. So we got the register set up. So you'll walk up, here you are. What can we get started for you today? Hi, can I get a dark roast black, please? Sure, that'll be $5. Here you go. And here's a generous tip. Thank you very much. So once the customer placed the order, it moves over to the Chemex station. So we usually run 3 Chemexes, and that helps us to be able to help as many customers as we can without using too much power. And that power is a pretty major consideration when we're running these expos because we have tripped the powers before if we run too many of these kettles, these electric kettles in series. So I'll give you a glimpse here at the setup. So we have the 3 kettles up front here, and then also we have the 3 Chemexes behind, all ready to go. So the next happy face that you'll see is McKendrick, who's going to be making the coffee for you. So we're going to grab our pot of coffee. These are sealed airtight containers. These are Airscape containers. You can get them on Amazon, but these in particular are ground specifically for Chemex. And we do that before the show for a small portion, but we also bring our grinder to a show to make sure that we have enough to go around if we run out of these. So McKendrick is going to go ahead and he's going to make us a coffee. He turned the scale around so that we can get a glimpse of what it's going to look like. So the first thing he does is he pre-measures 23 grams of the Chemex ground coffee. And that's right at it. Very nice. Next up is the kettle, and he's going to do an initial bloom phase on the coffee. So he's going to pour about 50 to 100 grams of water in and let it sit for about 30 seconds. And that's going to allow it to bloom. So you can see all the bubbles coming out of the top of the coffee. That's just carbon dioxide being released as part of the byproduct of the roasting process. And after that initial 30 seconds, he'll begin to his first pour. I personally do a figure 8 motion. I'm not sure what he's doing. This is the hybrid model. This is the squiggles with a circle at the end.
That's right. That's the most effective method to maximize the extraction of every coffee ground in this filter going into the Chemex.
Scientific and patent pending. That was a joke. And he's going to slowly pour in the rest of this water until he reaches 350 grams total water. So 23 grams of coffee and 350 grams of water, and that is a 1 to 15 ratio of coffee to water. And he is aiming for about 3 to 3.5 minutes of total drawdown here. So you can see the coffee is drawing, the water's drawing down through the coffee. And we're right at about 3 minutes. And the development of this Chemex process has been the most challenging thing that we've had to do. So getting over the hurdles of the electrical, of the individual making of the coffee, it's been kind of a learning curve that we continue to improve every time we do a show. The last thing that I want to show you is the water itself. So we've really worked hard to perfect the water and how we get water into the kettles. So we started with hand pouring water into the kettles. We quickly evolved to a battery-powered dispenser, but we ended up now we're working with a sink. So we actually bring a sink with us to shows. So if McKendrick will move to the side, I'll show you. Yeah, so we bring a full sink with the water jug down there. There's a water jug pump right there that pumps it into the sink. We can just put a kettle underneath the sink, turn it on, and we're good to go. Ready for the next customer. And that is the process that Cold Blooded Caffeine uses to bring you coffee live at a Reptile show. It continues to be a learning curve. We try to make improvements every show we do, but that is where we are today, March 2024, Tinley Park in NARBC. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you again in the next one.